I think of the hurdles, this is the hardest. This is the highest hurdle to jump
The
across
first one?
because, yeah, I think this is the hard because you have more time now to find the rest of the money, and it's not that you need to find 100 mil just like that. US, you need to find they're like smaller installments that you have to be paying and so on. So it's not like I think this is the biggest hurdle. This right now is the biggest hurdle. But I mean, it's pretty optimistic to be able to find 100 mil, don't you think?
Yep. I guess one of the things I was thinking about is even the whole thing, like, so say he isn't able to find the money. It goes to 45 days, still not able to find the money to say, okay, we're gonna seize the company. Something like that is gonna take time, and then it's like, okay, what actually happens when they seize the company? They have this company worth a price. Then I guess there are different things, because I was seeing they could sell the company to someone or sell that stake, I guess, in the company if someone wanted to buy it. But then the question is, okay, how much would they buy it for?
And not even just that, like, is it one person or multiple persons? Because I'm medding, if they get control of the 1 billion NCB shares, they might just want to, because they all have to come to, I feel like they all have to come to a decision, even though it's a lot of different people.
Yeah,
they all have
legally
to come to a decision.
They'd have to get vote on it and whatever. And so they'd have to get the majority and stuff. I was saying, okay, and even if they sell the company, what are they going to really be able to sell it for? It's like, okay, they're owed, all of these people are owed over 300 mil US. Is someone really going to buy NCB, which is almost like, would someone really buy it for that amount of money?
I think so.
Like, what share price is that? That's I can probably check that.
I think that would be a cool negotiation, because
why would someone buy it for that much? Like, if you are someone, you have the money, right? And these guys are pressured. They're like, yo, we need the money now. I have to pay my medical bills. I have to do this. I'll even take less money than I'm owed. Why would you go and buy it for some super premium price, like above, when they're pushed into a corner? Like, your money doesn't grow on trees. So there's that other side. It depends
on how many people are buying it. Because suppose you have like 10 different offers. Hey, let's start an auction, bro.
Yeah, but
definitely. And I think NCB itself as a company is still a pretty good company, right? They're still very profitable. They're paying dividends and so on. I still think that there is value in owning.
Would you, if you had the money there, would you buy NCB?
No, it's not about me. It's not about me.
But if you can see
who I think this is about?
Why do you think someone would do that?
Because someone else may have the means to turn it into something greater. Think about
why do you have to spend way more? Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they can't turn it, but I'm just saying, why would you spend this huge amount of money when you don't have to?
Well, we never even said a price, and you'd only have to if somebody else pushes up the price. Because, all right, so let's just say, for argument's sake, a sale of this size obviously needs like regulatory approval, right? You're going to need, and I think the possible buyers in my head, I think there's a reason why Chris Saka is in all of this, but that's just me. This is me wanting the whole succession, and I want to see Sagicor go for it. I really think Sagicor is the one that's gonna buy NCB. That's just me. Can they afford it right now? But can they find the capital? I think they could definitely find the capital. Because I think Sagicor is already kind of in it, and Chris Saka is already kind of in the whole mix-up and drama and blender and all of that stuff. So I think there are a lot of different other financial institutions that might want to buy it, and there are a lot of assets that NCB itself owns, because they own Guardian. That's huge in terms of insurance, and they have their pensions, and there are a lot of other, and NCB, as I said, is also profitable, like NCBJ, like the bank, cap markets, etc. Bro, I think that if the right company comes about, and it doesn't have to be an amazing price. I'm not saying it's gonna be great. Like, it could still be below the share price that it's trading at now. I don't even know what it's trading at now. Do you even know what it's trading at now?
Today it closed at 37.21.
37, so just shy
So
of
that values the
$40.
whole company at just about 100. What's this? 100 billion Jamaican, or about 600 mil US. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying
It's
to do
heavily
some
leveraged, man.
Yeah, I was trying to do some math on it to see. So what price are you? What price would you buy NCB if you were the person, the conglomerate, the group of people, and you're like, hey, I need the money, I'm gonna sell or whatever. What would you buy it for?
Didn't we already set a price? We set a price maybe 8 months ago before all of this came out. We said $20.
So remind me, so you'd buy it at $20?
Yeah, I'd buy it at 20. I think I still stick with $20.
So then, but
we said I think, yeah,
the entire company at $20.
If it's going cheaper, why am I buying at a premium? But I think $20 is more than fair.
$20.
I have to still do the math though, because when I think about it, the whole company is worth 600 mil. That means that 20 is gonna be close to 300 million. They already owe 300. I don't know.
Because I guess I'm trying to do the math. So based on what hold on. So based on what the article shared, right? They're saying, hey, the shares that are pledged are about 1.6 billion shares, right? And I'm saying at the current share price, that means that, well, okay, the whole company NCB at the $37 that it is today that of recording, as I said, it works out to 100 mil. Let me share my screen. It works out to 100 mil. You seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole company, this is how many shares are issued in a company or how many shares are out there. At a share price of 37.21, which is the share price today, you're valuing the company at about 100 billion Jamaican or 600 mil US. Right? So the whole company at your $20 would be worth about 300 mil US. But the stake, if what the articles or whatever, I guess I could probably check the shareholder list, but say it's probably somewhat accurate. The stake that they reportedly have pledged against the money that they owe is worth, at the $37, is worth about 246 mil. Hold on, is that? Because they're saying the debt is 300 mil. I need to probably actually do the maths on my own still. But I don't know. My point is, it's weird because, okay, if the shares are sold, you know, he's forced to sell, and then there is a new owner. The new owner is probably not going to buy at some ridiculous price. They'll probably say, yo, I want this on the cheap because you're pressured. Like, I don't have to supply and demand, you know? It's not like you have people running down your back saying, yo, they want to buy NCB at 50. People are like, hey, I don't know. I don't want to touch that right now. So yes, someone might buy it. I'm not saying like, because think about it. Almost anything can be a good investment at a cheap price. If someone went out today and they say, yo, I'd sell the NCB at $1 per share, or that'd be what, 2 billion Jamaican or something, anybody would be like, yes, of course I'd buy that. That's ridiculous. If everything were the same. But I'm saying, I just don't, like, even if they sell the shares, they're probably not gonna sell it at a, like, if they did one big sale like at once, they probably wouldn't get close to the value of the bonds and stuff. So it's like, okay, because in one of the articles it was mentioning a possibility where the shares could be, the people could get the shares of NCB instead of getting the cash. But then I'm like, yo, that's a lot of people getting NCB shares when they need money. Well, some of them are gonna need money. What is that gonna do to the price? I'm trying to see. So yeah, so this same Observer article, he confirmed that one potential outcome is for note holders to receive NCB shares directly in lieu of cash instead of cash. Though he cautioned that this would require navigating several legal steps. You know?
I feel like even if that doesn't happen, right? the way they could get shares is still through a trustee. So let's say they don't find this big block purchaser, and this happens, and no single buyer is found and thing. The trustee might just sell the shares gradually on the open market, but you kind of have a meds that dumping that volume is gonna tank that stock price. And I think that's the big if and but, and that whole apprehension that we're seeing now, and the hesitation that we're seeing with the stock price, and it just kind of it's languishing around this price, but who knows? I feel like as it gets closer to the end of December, it will start to even drop. And that, I mean, who does that help, right? I mean, if you if the stock price is falling and they're selling it, you're selling now these shares for less, so that harms the bondholders' recovery. That also harms current shareholders of NCB. The only person that this would be good for is whoever is buying at the low, and then if NCB keeps paying dividends, that yield would be, amazing. The potential rebound would be good, but there would be so many shares out there that's a slow rebound. It's like an APO effect, So, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
could either be a fire sale, and that's cents on the dollar, man. Like that's the issue. That'll be cents on the dollar. So, but I'm interested to see, how this all plays out, because
you watch it from the sidelines.
Yeah, I'm too scared to invest in this, man. Like, because the still optimistic thing is, as I said, Leachin finding that money, pulling the rabbit out the hat. Can you imagine if that happens? The stock price is flying. So,
would it?
But
so you're saying when the news comes out that he was able to find it?
Yeah. So I think as it gets closer to the end of December, you might see a dip in the stock price. And then if he finds the money, you're going to see that jump right back up, because the dip would have been
like how much you think it would move? How much percent you think it could move on that?
I think it could move 30%, at least.
30%.
Yeah.
So how much? I feel like. So how low? Wait, how low you think it can go as the deadline comes up?
$30. I think it can go. Hasn't it gone below $30?
Yeah, but just because it has before, don't mean it can.
This is a new and more serious target. So I feel like.
Hold on, so you're saying
I would say $30
over the next few weeks, you would wait for it to drop. So you don't own shares now. You wait for it to drop as possible other bad news. To come out.
More news articles.
It could be a situation. Yeah, because I mean, even some articles came out like today. I'm sure there'll be more. But maybe it could be that, hey, some of the people that speak to the Observer or Gleaner people actually are shareholders at the meeting. They could tell you, hey, outcomes, and they're saying, hey, it got my meeting that I went to on Monday or Tuesday got 80%, and we only needed 75%. And it's like, as it grows on more and more, if all of the people are voting yes, 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 then it could make it say, hey, the 95 mil, the 100 mil or whatever definitely has to be paid by this date. So then look
at the price. The price was on September 15th, $45.64. It closed at. And before that, August 4 was as low as $29.28. And it's been falling from that high of 45 to today. It's now, as you say, closed $37.21. I think it could touch $30 again, if I'm being honest. And if it does that, then I could also see it going up back to $40 if he does the magic trick. And that's 10%. That's 30% right there.
So that'd probably be like early first week of January you'd be selling then?
Yeah, first week of January.
Interesting. The thing is, I don't know, for that, I feel like the 30% is too ambitious. Not to say that it can't happen, but I feel like even if it was to be 30%, that's probably the top.
Mm-hmm.
So for something like that, I would try to be more cautious and go for probably 10% if that were to happen.
Nah,
So it's like, hey,
I think you're underestimating, man, how
mm-hmm,
like the severity of the magic. It's a magic trick, you know.
mm-hmm,
Imagine you find 100 mil out of nowhere,
mm-hmm,
bro. No, man, that's a magic trick. That's literally a magic
mm-hmm,
trick. So I don't
yeah,
know, but I could be just optimistic, as I said, but that is also the
mm-hmm,
optimistic outcome. And
mm-hmm,
how likely do I see that outcome happening? I don't know. Leechin has been finding money, so yo, I
mm-hmm.
don't. It's hard to roll the dice with a billionaire, man. Like it's hard to roll the dice with billionaires. I don't gamble, and at worst, I wouldn't gamble with a billionaire.